And this one is a competitive card game where each player is a leader of a Scottish clan, and players are competing to build their clans and drive off monsters. And the way this game works is that each player is going to be dealt 4 cards face down on the table in front of them, but then each player will be able to look at just 2 of their cards. You can only do this once at the start of the game, so you're going to have to remember what cards those were and where they were placed. Some of those cards will be monsters that you're trying to get rid of, while the others will be clan members of varying values. And the whole goal here is to try and be the first player to get rid of all your monsters and to have the lowest sum of values. And in order to do this, players do have a few actions they can perform on their turn in order to manipulate those cards in front of them. And the first option that players have is to draw a card from the shared deck. And whenever you do that, you can look at the card and then you can decide if you want to swap it with one of your cards, or if you just want to simply discard that card into a face-up discard pile, activating its special ability. And the other option that players can perform is, instead of drawing a card from the main deck, they can instead draw from the top of the discard pile, but whenever you draw a card this way, your only option is to swap it with one of your cards. Something to note here is that anytime that a player puts a card into the discard pile, any of the players at the table can yell the word "shoo," and the first player to do that is allowed to discard any of their cards that match the card that was put into the discard pile. But if the card that they end up discarding is not the right card, that's actually going to work against them, because instead of discarding a card, they're actually going to be gaining an additional one. And the game continues like this until a player believes that they have no more monsters in their cards and that they think they have the lowest total sum. Whenever they do that, they can call the end of the game, and then all the other players will get one more turn, and then players reveal their cards, and the player with the lowest sum of cards, while also not having any monsters, wins the game.